Hey guys, it's Lisa here from Arcaneandstellar. Welcome to my channel today for this timeless pick a card reading. So we're going to be looking at what you are destined to receive in this life. So what is your destiny? What is something? Maybe one thing. It doesn't have to be everything. But what does Spirit want you to know right now that you are destined for? Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. You can choose from one of these 4 groups. Number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take time to meditate on them, and you can find your answers in the group that you choose. The timestamps are up above in the description box, so you can check out there just to get straight to your group. But let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, so if you chose group number 1 here with this beautiful card, Light. Wow, what are you destined to kind of achieve, receive in this lifetime? What are things that are part of your destiny? So, light. Well, first of all, I want to kind of talk about some specific messages that are coming through, which is that for some of you, you may be destined to kind of reveal secrets or bring things to light. And this could be like within the family. Maybe you'll uncover family secrets or things that have been hidden. And for some of you, it's important to remember that maybe you haven't done this yet. Maybe this is something that will be on your path in the future. But yeah, I could see you guys uncovering certain secrets or unlocking certain changes where it's like you're bringing light to the darkness. So for some of you, even in your career as an example, it could be about unlocking something and showing what's behind the scenes so that other people can achieve, as an example. So that's another way that it could play out. But yeah, light here also is the absence of darkness. And so I do feel like there will be a time where you'll walk with purpose and with clear guidance of where you're going and kind of knowing where you're meant to go as well. Now we've also got here dawn, which I thought was kind of interesting that came out here, the light after the darkness. So I think this is also telling us that for many of you, if you've experienced struggle in your life, and maybe you're even in a dark place now, do know that the dawn is ahead and you will have a much more clear view. And I feel like for some of you, it may show that you're later part of life, or not necessarily later, but maybe it's after your Saturn return as an example, if you're that young, that you haven't had one. It could be that during that, it's that after period is when you start to really come into yourself. Actually, some of you, maybe with the Saturn return, you need to hear this. I saw a community post on Facebook today, and somebody was flipping out about a Saturn return, that their Saturn return's coming. And my Saturn return actually, it was a little bit rough at the time, but it led me to some far greater changes and maturity, and just it was one of the best things that I think that happened to me that period of my life, because it forced me to make some decisions and take some responsibility for certain, parts of my life. And yeah, I totally was on a better track. And so anyway, for some of you, if you are worried about that, or if you're going through your Saturn return and you're just oh, it'll never get better. Again, this could be that message that the light will return, things will lighten up, there will be more clarity and all that stuff. And that's another thing, like I said, I feel like you're destined to know where you need to go. And we have the Chariot as well. And so that's another thing here is I feel like that there's just a lot of transformation going on for you. And there will be periods of incubation, where you're not quite clear about everything. But like I said, I do feel like that there will be quite the transformation. And you'll find that you also achieve more luck and success. We have here staying focused, hold the course as well. And to me, that kind of reminds me a lot of the Chariot. So destined to get what you set your mind to. So it's when you've got your mind set on something, you are going to achieve it and you are going to receive it in this life. Especially once you put in the work and you really go for it. Now we also I see an owl here, so I kind of want to go over that a little bit here. What is this one? It's a... You typically see what others don't see, hear what others don't hear, and are able to discern the truth behind any falsehoods. So wow, that's so interesting, as I talked about the secrets, and that was coming through to me, uncovering secrets or knowing. It's you're destined to sense BS behind the scenes. Maybe it's a gift you have, from Spirit. And it says you're an old soul and have an inherent wisdom that continues to expand as you mature. You have a finely tuned awareness and sensitivity to others. One of your greatest gifts is being able to foresee the future. So some of you might be very psychic here, very intuitive. And it says here, you're able to contact the spirit world through your clairvoyance and clairaudience. And for some of you, your destiny is actually to connect with spirits on the other side. For some of you, we might have some mediums here, or people that are going to be able to tap into that ability at some point in the future. You know, my great-grandmother was, she had mediumistic abilities, but they only began later in life after, you know, she had a problem. And I know, this is funny, for this group in particular, I felt destined, like, I guess, to take this card here. And that was so funny because I was asking, and that's why I just like, wow, I remembered it. Well, I asked actually, what are you destined for in love? And I have the heart. So for those of you that, you know, need to know or wondering about love, you are destined to have love in your life and to have a happy, like, romantic life at some point in the future. So even if you're not there now, know that that's ahead for you. The fish here, of course, can indicate abundance and success and all good things, right? It's multiplying energy, it's prosperity, it's personal power and affluence. And I can feel like a lot of you, so it says here, you must start with small things and be prepared to swim first amongst the little fish before you chase the big fish. And for some of you, like, that is something, like, maybe it's like you have to do things like in little ways, but then eventually when you keep focused, when you keep doing it, you will find that you'll find great success, that you'll be seen. Even think about the owl there, it's taking center stage, it's very visible as well. And of course, money is coming, good luck, prosperity, promotions. These are just some of the signs of abundance associated with the fish. The fish can also be a sign indicating partnerships and financial affairs as well. And for some of you, it might be destined to be in a business or partnership with someone you love, like a romantic partner. Maybe for some of you, eventually you'll own a business, you know, with your spouse or your long-term partner. So I could totally see that as well. Oops, sorry. I'm just gonna grab some charms here. So what are they destined for in this life? What's their destiny? To work on your talents, to make money. I do feel like at some point in your life, you're going to be very comfortable. Like, you're going to have a comfortable home, a comfortable life. I feel like for a lot of you, there will even be like a bit of decadence or luxury as well. Like, you might find that, you know, you have it really good to enjoy, to drink, to have fun. It doesn't have to be drink, you know what I mean? It may be that at times you're going to shift your directions. Okay, and with the recycling in particular, I feel like here it's like you may recycle some of the same patterns sometimes, but eventually you'll get through it, and each time you'll do better as well. And I think that's what that staying focused too. And the Chariot, it's kind of like keep on it, keep going, and eventually you're going to find the light, and you're going to get to where you need to be. And again, like I said, there's that Cancer charm. So to me, that represents like home, family, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, Leo, there could be children, you know what I mean? Maybe some of you will be destined to have children. But I think for others of you, you might be really seen or visible. Like I said, maybe a performer of some kind, or at least somebody who is very good at some sort of hobby. Or, you know, you have a natural gift for the arts or for performance or for something in particular. Like, because generally, like, it's a very talented kind of thing. And so whatever that talent may be, of course, it might be different for each of you. We also have the starfish as well, which, where did I put that? I want to kind of go over the message of the starfish real quick with you. You're quite sensitive and have a great deal of empathy for others and are able to pick up on their emotional currents, whether or not the person shows it or knows it. Again, you're very perceptive, and you were destined to be perceptive to other people. You can kind of really just pick up what's going on under the surface with them. You have very definite ideas and opinions about things, yet also respect other people's points of view. So you're confident in your belief, yet, and it's so much to the point where you don't really mind what other people think. And that's going to be something that you'll find it's so funny actually that was said, because I was thinking earlier about, somebody asked recently, what's it like to have the sun in Aries, because it's exalted. And I was kind of like, well, I don't know. I'm just thinking here. You know what I mean? I was trying to think about it because I have that. And it's in the ninth house. And well, one thing about the ninth house is its beliefs, right? And I never feel offended by other people's beliefs. Like I have people like I see on my, you know, my face. I've had people tell me, like I had a gentleman like maybe 2 months ago or so on the phone. It kind of came into the topic of my channel and what I do. And he was like, I'm praying for you. You need to come back to Jesus and blah, 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 blah. He was really just telling me a whole thing. And I was just like, oh, that's sweet that he's thinking about me, because like, he doesn't mean no harm. Like, I don't worry about what he says. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings then. I think he just really genuinely feels that way. And you know, he's worried or whatever. I don't find that offensive. And I really just don't. I'm pretty confident in my own beliefs, so I don't really get offended if other people question mine. Like, I just don't care. Like, it really doesn't bother me. I can understand them, and I don't get offended. Same in the comments. I'll get those comments from time to time, too. Like, repent and go to Jesus or whatever because you're doing cards or whatever. I really just, yeah, it doesn't bother me. And, like, but I see other people sometimes get really offended easily about that kind of stuff, where they're like, oh, my God, they told me whatever, something, and it's like so offensive to them. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, I feel like for you guys, you all have such experiences in life where it may be that you don't find that you're comfortable with your beliefs and you don't really care what other people believe. Like, you can have that mingling, you know what I mean, between you and others. You pride yourself in your adaptability and flexibility and are willing and able to change direction at a moment's notice as necessity dictates, sorry. And there's that, look at that little, you know, steering wheel. I know that's not what it's called. I can't think of the name right now. It's like slipping my mind. But yeah, it's like you can adjust to the storms, you know what I mean? And you learn how to sail your ship, and you learn how to adapt to any of the storms or problems that come your way. So you are destined to really know how to move forward and to kind of stick to the goal and adjust accordingly. You're very confident in knowing what is right for you because you completely trust and adhere to your inner guidance. And again, I feel like such strong faith here for a lot of you. You will develop, if you haven't already, you're going to develop strong faith and beliefs, and you won't, like I said, other people aren't going to really affect that for you, because you're going to know intuitively. And I feel like a lot of you should really trust yourself, because I think you're very like intuitive, very psychic, and you should definitely be trusting yourself. I also have here the Europe. Some of you might be destined to go to Europe or the European Union, because this is 1 euro cent. For some of you too, that could be money. You know what I mean? With the fish, because you have the fish, of course, money. As an example. And we also have here this little, like, it looks like a seagull, and like it looks like the waves and a palm tree. So some of you might be destined to live near the ocean at some point in your life, or you know, maybe it's like vacationing somewhere. Maybe you're gonna buy like a, what's it called, a timeshare or something, I don't know. Maybe a vacation home or something. But yeah, I do feel like multiple trips near the sea, or living near the sea at some point in your life, probably, especially because we do have a lot of sea stuff. Actually, we have the boat thing here, we've got the starfish here, so definitely seeing maybe tropical influences, or at least if not tropical, maybe it's like seaside as well. So, and also because, like, think about Cancer, the moon, water, living near the water, I could totally see that. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up on the video if you have the inclination. If you want to get a personal reading with me, you can do that through my description box, which leads you to my Etsy store. I actually am working on a website, so I will probably keep my readings, my tarot readings on the website. I might move more astrology stuff over to the website. Sorry, I'll keep the tarot readings on my Etsy. I'll kind of keep you all posted on that, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, with that being said, you can also join here as a member, and I would love that if you did. You can get some exclusive content that way. But either way, take care, guys, and have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. See you next time. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 2 here with the success card, this is your reading. So what is your destiny? Obviously, going right off the bat here, we have success. And I feel like for many of you, obviously, this is going to be talking about success in your life, that you are destined to be successful And what's cool about this, though, is that it is connected to moon cycles. And so for some of you, it might be really important for you to learn more about the moon cycle that you're in currently, the progressed moon, or you might want to find out more about the cycle of the moon that you were born under. Like, I do those reports actually through, but I'm not plugging my reports or anything like that. Genuinely, I'm not. Because I've been pretty, like, I'm already pretty booked up, so I'm not, like, needing anybody to exactly purchase one right now. But anyway, but no, there are ways to find out. And I think there are probably plenty of free ways via Google, but you can find out more about your moon, your moon placement. Like, I have a balsamic moon as an example, so I was born during the final phase of the moon. But you know, going and finding out what that means for you, that might be important. And then also finding out where you are in your progressed moon, where it is now and what kind of phase you're in, and all that sort of thing might be something good for you guys in terms of, like, you know, getting to know yourself more and finding out more about yourself. So yeah, we have here the Canon. I'm just going to get the cards out here on the table. Let's do it. Let's just get them all out. Some of you might be destined to have a child. And of course, you know, if that's something that's a no-go for you, then it might be about plenty of new beginnings, or at least one big drastic new beginning in your life where it's completely new. So it's like moving to a whole new place, starting over completely in your career, or doing something totally, totally different, something totally new and foreign to you. And yeah, we have here forgiveness as well. The Hanged Man and the faraway places. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's very interesting because of that faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. I feel like for many of you, at some point, you are probably going to go very, very far away from where you were born. So probably you'll go to another country completely, or at least quite far away. So like if you're in the US, it's like going from like California to like North Carolina or something, completely across this coast, as an example, as what I feel here. Now, with the baby, like I said, for some of you, really, that is going to indicate that you are destined to have a child or to have an important child in your life. Even if it's not your own, it could be like a baby that makes a great impact on you and you make a great impact on it, whether it's like a nephew, a niece, you know, whatever, whatever it may be. I'm thinking grandchild even as well. But yeah, this can talk about the birth of a child, new beginnings, rebirth of oneself, pregnancy, and all these sorts of things. So again, new career paths, new jobs, totally new things, right? And new beginnings. And I feel like that at some point in your life, you're gonna have one of these. And I kind of feel like for some of you, you might have multiple ones, to be honest. Maybe multiple new beginnings. It's gonna be part of the destiny to just kind of always explore something different and to have different eras of your life. And, you know, grow from that. I do feel like for a lot of you, with the Canon here, this can be structure and leadership and support around you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you are destined to become a leader of some kind. So it could be a manager or a CEO, or again, maybe it's a business owner or something like that. But I feel like that there's a leadership quality to you that's really going to develop throughout your life, and it's part of your destiny. And also, like, I feel like just think about the can that shoots things far away. And so it's like, I feel like, again, it's like you're sort of making far-reaching impacts as well. And maybe for some of you, even with, like, say you make a business, it's like it's going to take you to faraway places at some point. Maybe a business trip, or, you know, maybe it's like you expand that way. But very nice there. Yeah, I could see you rising to like really high levels and positions in your life as well. We have forgiveness here, and it says here reducing burden. And I feel like for a lot of you, you do have a forgiving heart, and you'll do a lot of forgiveness in your life. And forgiving doesn't mean that you let them do it again. It could just be letting go and moving on, moving away from them. And I could see that too with the Hanged Man. You may have had many moments in the past where you're like, damn it, I should have done this. I could have totally done that. I could have done this, or to somebody, maybe. Maybe someone screwed you over and you're like, I could have done this, I could have done that. Don't worry, because fate and karma will do its work, okay? So even if you've let go, especially in the past, it was the right thing to do, okay? Now, of course, that message may not be for everyone, but I do feel it strongly, at least for some of you. Yeah, so I see forgiveness here. And again, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man can be periods of quiet and where we're very introspective and really self-reflective. And that's what makes me also think that you will have like a new beginning in your life at some point where you totally change perspectives. It's almost like you have a break, a period where you're not really doing too much, and then you come out totally different or new or with new plans and ideas. I do feel like for a lot of you as well, I could see you developing great talents in spell work if you wanted to, or at least having powerful prayers or rituals as well. So some of you might be naturally witchy as well. And of course, for some of you with a baby, if it's not a human, it might be like, you know, rescuing or taking care of animals or something like that as well. I'm going to take a few more cards here. What is their destiny? What's they destined for? What is destined for them? Ooh, we have the King of Pentacles. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, grounded. A time of great success, financial security, and prosperity. The Midas touch. Everything turns out beautifully. A supportive parent or spouse. A good person to work for. Now, of course, for some of you, this could be that supportive spouse. Or, again, this could be like you becoming very financially successful, secure, and prosperous. And just generally being a person that's very reliable, and finding also somebody reliable in your life in return. Wow, there's a lot of love I feel like that you'll be destined for in life, because we have two hearts. So I feel like there's definitely that that perspective there of attracting love. And some of you may even have lots of admirers, or at least a few very strong ones, people that are very infatuated with you as well. For some of you, it might be also that you are destined to have like a period of your life where you feel very beautiful and very admired. And I have to say that for some of you as well, you may be destined to have like your photo somewhere. So you may go down in like history somewhere, or at least be a very prominent face, whether it's a prominent face of a company or something like that. I feel as if there is some recognition. I also feel like here with the 1 cent euro, this could indicate that faraway places. So traveling far away, making money abroad, or again, this could be, again, just a sign of financial security as well. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, look at the purse. That was a confirmation. Financial security, feeling secure, feeling like that. Yeah. We also have the Arthur fist tried to come out here. And so, yeah, it's something about, there may be periods where you are frustrated. And I feel like those periods where things are not going right, it's time for you just to meditate and to take some time and reflect. And when things are the most frustrating, it might be a time to kind of redirect your energy and start something new in your life. So if you find that you're getting anxious, angry, feeling like kind of restless or whatnot, it's like about how to make a new beginning or do something completely different as well. That was weird. I saw something weird. Okay. Anyway, and we have the shell here too. Oh, and then every fair from fair sometimes declines. So Shakespeare. But yeah, we also have the shell too, which I associate with Aphrodite and beauty and love. So I do feel like that there's plenty of that in your life. Let me get one more. Yep, there's a sun. So again, I feel like attention, recognition, and all these sorts of things too, and people who admire you as well. I do feel like for a lot of you, Aphrodite may be like blessing you, or kind of like a patron goddess for you, even if you're not aware of it. But I can definitely see that this person could be destined as well for some of you, like a mentor or a partner or somebody who is very influential financially. And you may also find that too for yourself. The Hanged Man, of course, can give one like strong artistic talents and seeing things from a totally different perspective than other people. So it may be that you will often see things differently, which sometimes maybe you're not always following the trends, but I feel like people will catch up. They'll catch up. And actually, sometimes when you're like that and you're kind of doing something totally different than other people, eventually, you know, kind of make an impact and people start to notice and they're like, I want to follow that. So that's the thing. I think that you guys could at least have one instance in your life where you really create like a trend or something like that. Like, you know, you have this influential aspect to you and people just are like looking at you and, you know, following by example, and it's like you were just kind of thinking outside of the box, you know what I mean? Just doing things the way that you wanted to do. And I think actually even with the baby there, it indicate that you're very innocent and all. It wasn't even intentional. It's just the way you are. You know what I mean? You just thought of like, you know, like doing it your way or whatever. I do feel like a very imaginative type of personality, very empathic and empathetic towards others as well. And you may also have a gift actually for helping others find forgiveness. And this could be about giving a new perspective. You know, like maybe for some of you, if you're a therapist or something like that, you can help people let go of resentment, of pain, of suffering, and trying to find, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel as well. Like I feel like you could, and I feel like at least if you're not in that kind of profession, I feel like at least you're going to have a huge impact on a few people where it's very important that you're in their life because you're going to teach them about forgiveness. Even if it's in like friendship where maybe they don't trust anyone, but you let them know, like, and they sort of learn that they can trust again. You know what I mean? So yeah, beautiful, beautiful reading for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this and it was insightful for you. I will go ahead and end it here, but if you want to get a personal reading with me, you can do that through my Etsy store, which is up in the description box. And I am kind of working on a website now that will probably be out in the future, although I'll still keep my readings on Etsy probably as well to purchase. So it'll kind of be like maybe, you know, you can go to either place at some point in the future. And the website, I would just want to be very informative rather than anything. It's not even necessarily for sales. It's more like I have some projects I'm working on. But anyway, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you guys have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. And thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful friends that chose group number 3. You are my creators. You guys are meant to imagine and create in this life. You're destined for that. I do feel like for a lot of you, you're going to create something, whether it's a novel, like a fantasy world, or a character that's going to touch people's hearts, or maybe it's a fashion, you know, empire or something. Who knows what it may be, but I feel like you guys are creators. Or even it's like, you know, creating beautiful spaces and homes, or, you know, it's just like a very creative spirit. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're inventors, you are visionaries, and you have a strong imagination. And if you feel like you haven't tapped into that just yet, you're going to have at least one moment that's destined in your life where you will be able to create like something. And even if you can't picture that right now, okay, remember that. Even if it's not something you can picture right now, at some point in your life you are destined to create something that you've imagined. Wow, okay, we have the Comet in the Hat. We have Infinite Abundance. The Queen of Pentacles. Oh, wow. You guys, your destiny looks very nice. Okay, so let's see here. We've got that Imagine card, and we've also got the Comet. Now, the Comet is about wishes, and so this can talk about rapid movement, hot and heavy, excitement, reaching for the stars, and a lighted pathway. And this can be a very beautiful card because it can talk about climbing the ladder of success, and it can talk about elements of surprise and things that rapidly gain as well. So for some of you, it's almost like I could see you doing something in life where there's a rapid success. It's like things build very quickly and very successfully, very fast. It's almost like an overnight success or something. So maybe for some of you, especially creators, you might maybe you write like a book as an example that's just an overnight success. It's like Stephanie Meyer with the Twilight series. It's like she just boom, you know, I mean, was everywhere. I'm not saying like It might be a book, it might be something else that you do, but I could see you becoming viral or very like a very fast success in your life. And from there, you can create a lot of abundance. Now, for some of you, this might, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this, what I'm going to say here. For some of you, this might be sort of like a one-hit wonder type of situation. And not for all of you necessarily, but it might be that you start with one thing and you move into other things. Because you were able to make that investment. So I'm trying to think of a good example of that. Like, I guess, who is that guy? That Brian Gosling? Is who it is, who's doing like Mint Mobile and all these other like weird projects, different projects, not weird projects, but different projects. And it's like he's an actor, but then he took his money and he invested it there as an example, and he's done some other things with that money. Or it's like that Magnolia, like, what's her name? I don't know. I don't watch that show too much, but it's like they do like house flipping, I think is what they did originally. Now they have a whole TV network, and she's written like cookbooks, which I've read the cookbook. That's how I know. Joanna Gaines. That's who it is. Anyway, the point is that, you know, she started to move into other things. Now, she's not a one-hit wonder, of course, and neither is Ryan Gosling. So I'm not saying, but for some of you, it might be that, yeah, you get success one way, but you invest that money and you do something different with it that brings you, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of gives you lasting security to where you don't have to do other things. Or, like, you don't do that thing anymore. You start to do other things that you're passionate about, as an example, right? And the hat can talk about promotion to a different role or a change of career. So that's definitely confirmed here. It's almost like you have a success, or you guys change career and you find that you rapidly rise suddenly. You know what I mean? Like I said. And also, this can just mean that you have high regard and authority and rise in social status as well. I also see that infinite abundance here. So abundance is pouring into your life. I feel like there's going to be a period in you're meant to be financially successful, okay? Your destiny is to be financially successful. And that, I can tell you that much, okay? You're going to own a home. You're going to have a happy home and a happy life, okay? We have happiness in our hearts and homes. And for some of you, maybe it's like doing something around the home. Like maybe somehow your career will have something to do with homes. Maybe it's real estate. Maybe it's helping other people find homes. You know what I mean? This obviously is a general reading, so I can't like, you know, possibly say everything, but I definitely feel here with Hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. It's like you're meant to experience comfort and warmth, and just look at that. It's like so cozy here. And I feel like you're going to feel like that in your life. Like I said, to where you can create that, what you've imagined. Maybe for some of you, especially if you do vision boards, know that those things that you put on your vision board, whether it's a board on Pinterest that's secretive, or you actually paste them on a paper or something like that, those things are actually going to come true to you. Like they're going to come true in your life. Like I feel like you're definitely going to see some of the things that you like are trying to manifest. Like you're going to have, it's going to come to you suddenly, like out of nowhere, just like a comet, right? And yeah. So what else are they destined for? Of course, with the happiness in our hearts and homes, and the Queen of Pentacles, some of you might, you know, have a family of your own. You're destined for that, to be a happy at home and in the family. We have the Lovers, embracing true love and deep, intimate friendships, making choices from the heart, and vibrant health or recovery from an illness. So that's beautiful too. Some of you might find that there's a total turnaround with your health, as an example. And I think this is a very good omen for those of you wondering if you'll find a special partner or special person. Totally, totally. I think some of you might have that curiosity. You come in here kind of wondering whether you will have a lasting love. And yeah, you will. Okay. What are they destined for? We have the Magician. Magic is alive in your life. What you need to be a successful manifest. If you believe it, you can do it. Yep. Like I told you, you guys are good manifestors, actually. And you're going to find that many of your manifestations come forth. And for some of you, this will be an older age. But I think that in right around, like maybe when you turn like around the, gosh, what do I mean? Like 30 or 40, around these ages in particular, like 20, 30, 40, not for all of you, but if you are more mature in life, like maybe you're a bit older, as an example, these things are still available to you. And I think that's just a reminder for some of you. Okay. What is destined for them? We got the bee. Okay, so we've got the bee here, which of course can talk about work and, you know, job and all these sorts of things, and success through teams, perhaps gathering people around you as an example as well. And I see that with the infinite abundance too. It's like I see collaboration, collaborative efforts. I see also the fish, which talks of abundance, success, multiplying as an example. And I also see here angels watching over me. And so I feel like you'll have many moments, or especially you're destined to experience one moment where you really know angels are watching over you. But I think it's going to follow you throughout your life, where you're going to find either the right idea, the right, it's like your imagination. It's like you just get an inspired thought, and suddenly that inspired thought leads you down a pathway that gets you out of a situation, as an example, as well. And it's definitely collaborative with angels. Like I feel like angels really collaborate in your life and watch over you. I also see the Pegasus, which I think of, for some of you that might be film, maybe some of you, because I think of the Pegasus from that one, what was it? What's that company? I can't remember. When I was a little kid, I used to see it on there. That's what it always makes me think of. But of course I think of freedom and excitement and journeys as well when I see the Pegasus and magic. I also see here this little Hello Kitty, and it looks like it's got like a little sombrero and stuff. So maybe for some of you going to Mexico at some point in your life or something, or there might be a special trip there that you're destined to take and it was going to make a big impact. Or maybe it's like maybe it's learning Spanish for some of you. You're destined to learn it, as an example. Maybe if some of you are learning it, or a foreign language. Actually, I could say that some of you might be destined to actually learn a foreign language, by the way, and communicate with others. And maybe for some of you, you'll even marry somebody foreign or different from you as well. Now, because we also have the Eiffel Tower now. First, I think that there's travel as well. It's another thing I see, that you're meant to travel, and it probably will be to numerous places. Because we also have Treasure Island as well. It makes me think of travel. So I see an element of travel that you're destined to have in your life. And again, I feel like that there's treasure to be found. I also feel like someone special in your life, like the lovers came out, but also the cherries. And so I do think of like a very good pairing. You will have a very good relationship or pairing in your life romantically. And then of course we have the moon here. So I see you're destined to be intuitive and sensitive and have these sort of adaptable qualities as well. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing. Again, maybe writers, creators, like I said, I see a creative aspect of you, and I see, again, true love in your life, and just feeling successful and happiness and abundance and leadership. Like I said, I think for a lot of you, you're going to have moments where you're a leader of some kind, like a manager, or like I said, a CEO, business owner. It's like people are looking up to you. And yeah. That's so cool. I really do enjoy this reading. I hope that you did too, and it gave you some insight into your future. But overall, take care, guys, and lots of love. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and I'd love to see you again on the channel. If you want a personal reading, you can do that through my Etsy store, which is up in the description box. And you can also join here as a member on the channel if you want to get some more exclusive pick a cards. But either way, guys, take care and lots of love. Hello, my beautiful friends. So what is your destiny? What is destined for you in this lifetime? I thought this was interesting because you had two cards that came out that kind of relate to each other. Peace and tranquility. Oh man, so if there is a lot of drama in your life, there's been a lot of chaos, or if you felt like life is nothing but chaos, it's one drama after the other. And maybe, it's like, oh man, why does it always have to be something? I do feel like that there will be a time where there is peace in your heart, where you have tranquility, where you find healing and you come into your own peace, where you're able to release feelings of anger, of sadness, of jealousy, of negativity, and just find things that make you happy and give you strength rather than weakness. And I can feel like that some of you are definitely going to learn how to forgive and let go as well, and protecting your own inner serenity, against people who would trample on that as well. And I could just see you being a very harmonious person. Mother Teresa always said, peace begins with a smile. And so for some of you, it's like you're destined to bring peace to other people. And again, maybe it's about bringing that to others in some way. We also have calmness, meditation, and healing with tranquility. The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. And this can talk about using the power of your mind to bring yourself into a state of tranquility. So for some of you, you're going to be able to really master your mind and fears and anxieties and things that bother you. Whether it's anger from past events. I feel at some point you are destined to take control of these types of things. Like it's not going to be bothering you because you'll have like such strong control over what affects you. And you know what I mean? And it makes you much more stronger. And I do feel like, again, there may be a point in your life where you're destined to sort of like just be apart from chaos. You know what I mean? The chaos of other people. We have here the automobile and the bellows. We also have fogged in, the wheel of fortune, and ancestors. Ooh, interesting. I could totally see many of you, and this is probably going to go two different ways, okay? With the ancestors here, it could be that a lot of you are moving away from ancestral challenges and growing out of these. So it's like not repeating the mistakes of our family members, our ancestors, and so on and so forth. And for others of you, this may be taking on gifts from the ancestors as well. So for some of you, if you have an ancestral gift coming your way, maybe, where perhaps it's like maybe there's a psychic gift coming to you via an ancestor, or it's like I feel like ancestors are a big part of your life though, and you have to at least have one, I feel, that is very like strongly connected, although I feel like you have kind of an army of ancestors around you. Even if they didn't do right in this life, they watch from the other side and cheer you on because they see you breaking patterns and breaking chains and rising above. It's easy sometimes to fall into the patterns of our families. And you see people do it all the time. Their parents are drug addicts, they become drug addicts, and they continue the cycle. But there are some people who are very unique that look at that and they think, yeah, that's not who I want to be. And they learn from those mistakes. And then they change them. And I'm not saying that you guys came from such situations, but I feel like for some of you, at least listening, you're able to grow because you're able to observe and separate yourself from it. And be able to believe that you can be different as well. And again, if you have had a very chaotic atmosphere growing up, as an example, with a lot of movement or whatever, maybe it's a lot of uncertainty, a lack of too much movement. Maybe it's like you moved homes constantly, or there's always something changing, or I could totally see, it's like things just heat up. It's almost like, it's always like, every time you think, okay, it's calm, it's like something comes by, like the bellows, it's like something comes and like stokes the fire and it starts heating up again. And anyway, I feel like that there will be periods like that, but it's part of perhaps your karma and life itself, but eventually there will be peace and tranquility where you're feeling like very calm. With fogged in, it says go slow and take time. And I feel like, if you give it time, the fog clears and you understand. Now, we also have that automobile, like I said, so I could see a lot of short trips and and so on and so forth. And this could talk about short journeys and stuff. But it also can talk about relaxing trips and independence and progressing as well. And we can talk about taking the driver's seat and pushing the pedal to the metal, and taking an independent control over your own life and the decisions you have to make and stuff like that. So I could see you taking the wheels as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I take the wheel and I'm making my destiny, and I'm making things happen for myself. You know what I mean? I'm not letting somebody else steer my destiny. I'm not going to repeat these mistakes or these things, especially. And of course, here with the bellows, I could see you at some point in life reigniting an old hobby or going back to something. So like, for instance, say if some of you were like passionate for performing as a child and you just loved it, and then maybe say your awkward teens came and you were like, oh no, I'm a wallflower now, and suddenly you got shy because someone said something mean to you or something. I could see you guys coming back and like falling all in love with it again and reigniting that old passion. Or like, say you did like, some kind of hobby like soccer or something, or whatever it may be. I could see you coming back to something and finding yourself reignited for a passion as well. And for some of you, you may be destined for old flames to come back. There may be people that come back from the dead, not die, but like literally, like, but do you know what I mean? Like figuratively, where it's like you haven't heard them from them in a long time, and suddenly they get like their passion stoked up about you. I could see that as well. The Wheel of Fortune promises that your life will always be a little bit different, but I feel like it'll come, even if it's been chaotic so far, like I said, with many moves, or like maybe it's just like energy all over. I feel like at some point it'll be like in a more peaceful way. Maybe you're more in control of the movement. It's like you doing it instead of other things like life getting you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, sometimes our movements are like dictated by others, like whether it's our bosses or our job or situations that happen. But I feel like you'll be kind of more in control of that movement. We have embrace your imperfections. So finding a rooted, there's a lot about being rooted as well though, by the way. And maybe if you have felt like you've been all over the place and like you just never quite understand where you're going, I will say at some point you'll put down roots. And maybe for some of you will be called to like an ancestral place as well in your lifetime. Like maybe you'll eventually, for some of you, actually you're going to move back to like some sort of ancestral place. Like, I have, for instance, like in my case, I have some ancestors that lived in Cuba as an example. And it's like if I were to move back there, like, go there as an example. Just like, in some way, you might be led to a place where you have roots somehow, or deep down in your family tree. We also have the eagle here, which I'll look at in a moment, the butterfly, and the elephant. So we have some definite animal guides coming through with some messages. I also see the 4-leaf clover, which indicates luck. And I love it because there's the Wheel of Fortune. So you're destined to have some very high amount of luck in your life. Like I could see some of you winning the lotto. I'm not saying like the billions, but it might be like you win $1 million. I was recently actually at my physical therapy, and I was talking to the girl behind the counter, and she has a family. And it was actually kind of funny. Listen to this, actually, by the way. This is, whoa, okay, hold on. Listen to this. So I was talking to her, and she said that the other girl that works there, the other receptionist, which I never see because I think she's in the mornings. But anyway, she had a family. Her mom and sister have won Lucky for Life twice, which is a lotto game. And they both won like a few million. One of them, I think, won a few million for sure, and the other one won $1 million or something like that, but they both have won. And so she said she's just waiting for her turn. And I was kind of laughing with her because I said, you know how people talk about family curses, like their family, like we're just cursed or whatever. I'm like, you guys got like family blessings. And maybe for some of you, it's like you actually have the love and legacy of our DNA. Maybe for some of you, it's like you have a family blessing. And why not, as well, maybe you can bless other people's families in some way, like perform that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like you hear about family curses. What about family blessings and putting blessings on people in their family lineage? Interesting, right? So maybe for some of you, it's like that's going to come through in some way, somehow in this lifetime. So we've got the butterfly here. And of course, the butterfly, of course, represents beauty, we know. But it says you have a profound appreciation for the natural cycles of life, death, rebirth, and that occur within and around you. So some of you may have a lot to do with your ancestors, death, rebirth, and so on and so forth. So some of you might be destined to experience death, to experience birth, and, you know, understanding the big capacity of these things to help others move through these spaces. You have a great deal of vitality with exotic and colorful tastes in your choices of clothing, decor, art, music, and even friends. So you may find that, yeah, you have this beautiful, like, energy to you. You're very attractive to others, and people are naturally drawn to you. You can be flighty and generally don't form strong attachments to other people. And I wonder about that with that short-term energy. Some of you might be destined to be like that a little bit. Actually, if you were born during a balsamic moon, I'm born during a balsamic moon, which is like the last phase. And a lot of times when we have that type of moon in our chart, and even if some of you have it for a progressed moon or something like that too, but some of you might have that here, and we're not meant to have a lot of long-term connections. It's not to say that we won't be happy, you know, with a connection. Like, I've been married for, like, you know, I've been with my husband for 20 years. So it's not to say that we have only short-term relationships, but we'll go through many, like, kind of karmic little relationships. And it doesn't even have to mean it ends badly. It's just like we meet somebody, we talk, and then we move on. And it's not a heartbreak. It's just life. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you don't do well in a harsh or toxic environment. As such, you have to live where the air and water are clean. And interesting about that too. You adjust to change very readily and easily. And I do feel like that you guys are very adaptable. Sorry, I was like reading something down here and then it kind of screwed me up. Adaptable and strong, okay? And then we've got the elephant. You have an insatiable hunger for knowledge and continually seeking to understand things. So your life is one of gaining knowledge and growth. You're at your best doing some kind of political or social work, or otherwise being in a responsible position of public service. So some of you may go into public service or help people. You have an innate capacity for drawing an ancient wisdom and communicating this whenever appropriate. And some of you, your ancestors really do speak through you in some way, and you've learned. There's some particular ancestor, at least one. But like I said, I do feel like there's kind of a team around you that are really looking out for you. Once you set your mind on something, there's nothing that will stop you from attaining it as well. Okay? And then we've got the eagle. And so, of course, the eagle, we know a little bit about that. You're a very spiritually evolved individual and a born leader, and people gravitate quite naturally to you. You're willing to endure challenges and struggles because you're confident that you can meet them, and you trust that they're necessary for your spiritual development. Even though you're an old soul, you must still go through various initiations throughout your life that will ultimately lead you to living a completely spiritually directed life. You're passionate and have a bit of temper that you have to watch. Some of you might be a little bit temperamental sometimes, or at least in your younger years. One of your main life lessons is learning to conserve your energy and apply your focus to what's truly important, right? And I feel like that's the thing. It's like you learn how to shout out like things that are not for you, like that don't align with you. And eventually, you know, it's like, whatever. I don't need that. And yeah, you take advantage of opportunities without hesitation and with a strong faith that there will be lessons or gifts that you'll discover in doing so. Pay attention to the sensations in your backbone as an instinctual trigger to be more alert to what's going on around you. So actually pay attention to your backbone, because that might be where you feel a lot of intuition. Maybe when your back's hurting, as an example, it's telling you something. Or, you know what I mean? That might be something that will develop in this life if you don't know that now or don't have it. But we also have thank you. And that's another thing. I feel like your gratitude will be rewarded in life. When you say thank you, you'll be rewarded for it. And I feel like there will be many people in life that tell you thank you for your contributions, for the things that you do. And we also have, maybe some of you are destined to learn astrology because we have this like planet. So yeah, I could totally see all these things. But you are destined, by the way, like I said, to have peace and tranquility in your life. And like I said, even if you feel like life has been nothing but changes that you can't control, almost like a ride you can't get off, don't worry, because eventually you will find that things become calm. And at least there is change, but it's a change that you are more in control of. You have the wheel on it. And like I said, hopefully you know, this was helpful for you. And I absolutely love doing this reading. Sorry, my camera just turned off randomly. But anyways, I wish you all the very, very best, guys. Take care. Join here as a member if you would like more content, and you can get a personal reading with me in my description box at my Etsy store. But I wish you the very, very best, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.